Pryde's Picks is spoiler heavy and full of crude language. I swear like a sailor, and Lockheed's no better. Consider yourself warned. Hey everyone, it's May 21st, and I'm here with this week's Pryde's Picks. This week we have a couple of books from DC and a butt-ton from Marvel and Image Comics, so let's get started. First up is Future's End Issue 3. Now this book I have been trying to get into. I feel like they've just been doing introductions to the characters so far, and Issue 3 is kind of the same, except now they brought in Frankenstein, the Agent of Shade, and I am just like really having a hard time choking this book down. I still feel like they're just introducing the type of characters we're going to deal with, and even Terry McGinnis isn't saving it for me right now, so I'm going to piss on the whole arc. Moving on to Forever Evil Issue 7. Now, Forever Evil is wrapping up slowly, and this was the big boss battle fight that you've been waiting for. And you find out a few secrets, a few hidden little gems in here at the same time. But the best part was just watching these superheroes and super villain heroes go toe-to-toe and smash each other's faces in. And it's great to see who comes out on top. The most moving part of this book for me was Lex Luthor and Bizarro and the weird relationship they have. And when Bizarro gets injured, Lex feels it, like truly feels it. And I kind of felt for him. And I just wanted to hug Bizarro myself because he just seems so confused. That being said, Forever Evil is definitely giving me what it's promised, and I can't wait for what's to come. Buy it now. Let's move on to Marvel with Uncanny X-Men issue 21. Now, the school has been under attack, and Magic suddenly went all, like, psychotically evil, and she's channeling the depths of hell, and she's just fucking shit up, so Storm reins in the lightning, puts that stuff on ice. Meanwhile, we find out that Dazzler isn't really working for S.H.I.E.L.D. at all, which we knew, but he starts to find out who's behind it all, and he finds Dazzler's body, and he's pissed. So, the Wrath of Magneto is what's to come. I am enjoying this book. That being said, this wasn't a life changer. I would say read it on the shelf and buy something good. Let's move on to Wolverine and the X-Men issue 4. Now, Scott has shown up at the school, and he's shown up with his team, and the school is still under attack from God knows what's going on. And he is there to get Quentin Quire. He's got the cuckoos in Quentin's head, trying to kind of subdue him while he gets in there and kind of gets a message across and kind of reins him in from the mental abuse that he was getting from this Yunj guy that had him. And slowly he's been moving over to Cyclops' side. Cyclops is like, man, I know what you're going through. The Phoenix Force fucked me up. You're worried about it fucking you up. We're bras. They have a moment. We're not very moved. I'm going to say, you gotta piss on it. And there's nothing too great in this book. Let's move on to X-Men issue 14. Now this is the all-female X-Cast, and the school is under attack. It's always under attack. But this time, Baby Daddy has come back to get Jubilee to hand over his child. And he is killing mutants in the school. Just like flat out killing them. And so the female characters are all very pissed at Storm because the Sisterhood of Evil kind of fucked them up, and Storm was a bitch about it. Let shit slide, let the Sisterhood of Evil go, and the rest of the girls are pissed. You got Psylocke and Hope and Monet pissed at Storm, and they don't want to talk to her, and Storm shows up and she's like, I'm ready to be the boss now, I'm ready to be a leader, and they're like, we're not even a real team. And she goes, oh no, I like text Wolverine and told him what's what, and we're now an official team. And suddenly everybody forgives her ass, and they're like, oh cool, we can all be a team now, we can go fuck shit up. It was stupid, piss on it. Let's move on to The Amazing Spider-Man issue 2. Now, as we all know, Peter Parker's back in his body, and he's still kind of doing damage control. One of the biggest problems he comes across is when he goes home to find the fact that Anna Maria actually lives with him. And he's got to break it to her, somehow politically correctly, that he's not dating her little midget ass. She takes it rather well. He tells her about the Doc Ock thing, and she's like, oh, it makes sense, he was really smart. As if to imply Peter is not. Later, when he goes back to Parker Industries, he is coming across all these speed bumps because people are asking him for advice on projects, and he has no idea what's going on. Anna Maria shows up, she throws a few lies around so people like fuck off, and then she's like, I will teach you. So basically, not only is she the coolest ex-girlfriend there ever was, but then she shows up and she bails his ass out. I don't think he really deserves it, because he's a little... I don't know, I'm just pissed off. I feel like he didn't even give her a chance. Like, Ox saw something in her, so what if she's little? Date her for a little bit. Try it out. You know how big your penis looks in those little hands? I just think Parker should give it a shot, you know? Shoot some web sling that way. See what happens. Electro can't control his powers and accidentally looks like he might have killed somebody he cared about. Parker and him go toe-to-toe. Electro gets away because of an unlucky foe kind of jumps in the mix and helps out Electro. Amazing Spider-Man issue 2. It's not a must-read, but it's super enjoyable. I would say steal it from a friend. Let's move on to Original Sin issue 2 of 8. Now, the Watcher is dead, his eyes have been removed, and everybody in the Marvel Universe is looking to find out what happened. There are these mindless that come out, and they're attacking, and all the big players show up and find out where the mindless are all at, and they show up to fuck up the guy that's controlling them. So they all show up, they fuck up the mindless, they basically do their job. Like, they do their job. And it's exciting to watch them, like, just not hold back. I guess they see these guys as, since they're so mindless, they can just, like, I don't know, just blow their faces off and not feel bad about it. So they do. So it's nice to see them not hold back, and that part was really exciting. The big reveal at the end left me saying, huh, it wasn't that moving, but I am enjoying this, and I do want to know who killed the Watcher, so I'm going to wait for the trade. Let's jump into Image Comics with MPH, issue 1. Now, this is Mark Miller and Duncan Figueroa. I said his name wrong. And there is this drug on the market called MPH, and the issue starts with some blast. It looks like a comet just tears through and just blasts through these trees, tears up the road, and like crashes. And it just obliterates everything in its wake. And we find out later it was a man, and you're like, what? So there's a man, and they take him away. They're like, you did this, son. He doesn't even remember. He said he's sorry. He doesn't mean to. Cut to a guy in jail. And he's had a rough day. He ended up in solitary. His buddy's like, let me help you out. Let me give you some pills. Pops him MPH. Next thing you know, this guy's walking around prison and everybody is frozen. And he basically just walks out the front door. Except in his time, it's super slow, so he can just do whatever he wants. The lights are flickering so slowly that he has like minutes of darkness. That's what the time slow to him is. It's just crazy. He just walks right out of it. But to everybody else, like, he just blasts through, fucks shit up. The power is unique. It's faster than the Flash, I would say. It's faster than fast. I don't know. I like what's going on. I'm confused. I'm intrigued. And it's not your typical superhero story. So I want to see what comes of MPH. I'm going to say, guys, pick it up and read it on the shelf. If you like it, buy it now. I don't want to give you an exact buy it now because I'm not sure where it's going. But I thoroughly enjoyed it. Let's move on to another new book from Image Comics, Real Heroes. This is issue 2. Now, we covered issue 1 a little while back. Basically, there are these actors who do basically what the Avengers do. So it's like taking Robert Downey Jr. and Mark Ruffalo, Chris Evans, Scarlett Johansson, and they're at a premiere. And then they get attacked by a real-life superhero problem. And then they get pulled out of the real world into this parallel universe where they're those actual superheroes. And this guy's like, you gotta help me out. So he wants them, these characters, these pseudo-hero actors, to get on a TV screen, pretend to be their characters who in that alternate universe actually exist, and say everything's gonna be okay, the bad guys aren't gonna win, and give the city hope. Except while he's doing that, the bad guy finds out that they're there and goes to fuck them up and stop everything. You know they're not going to get returned to their real world anytime soon, or this wouldn't be a book. The only thing I don't like, and I read too much into it, I think, is the fact that on what parallel universe are all the actors the same folks and everything else? Like, how do they get cast? And it just so happens that in another universe, it's a real thing. Unless somehow they're connected, and we're about to find out about this, that kind of irritated the shit out of me. But the book itself was cute. The first issue I enjoyed more because it was really tongue-in-cheek towards the industry of superhero movies and just film. This one got a little too serious, and so I couldn't take it as tongue-in-cheek, so it was a little less enjoyable, but I'm still enjoying Real Heroes, so I would say read it on the shelf and buy MPH. Let's move on to Saga, Chapter 19. Now, you all know I am in love with this book. It's about Marco and his wife, and they're from two rival alien races that hate each other, and they get together against everybody's wishes, have a baby, and now they're being hunted by both sides. And they just want to live, keep their baby safe, and just have a normal life. So they have gone to this moon that nobody's really at, and they're trying to survive. Marco's a stay-at-home daddy. He's trying to cope with that right now. Meanwhile, Mommy is a soap opera superhero star, but it's real time. So, like, the audience can talk to them while they're doing it and be like, you suck, this sucks. She can't quite handle the negative feedback and kind of tells that guy to fuck off, and then she almost loses her job at one point. She gets home after a hard day of pretending to be a foxy superhero, and she butts heads with Marco. And you've got the ghost friend, and you got the grandma, and it's just like this dysfunctional family that you fucking love. And the thing about Brian K. Vaughan that I like so much is that he really pushes the envelope with this series. Like, he has gotten in shit for some stuff he's done in this series. And this issue is another reason, another reminder, because the first page of this issue is a vagina. That is a vagina with a little robot child coming out of it. If you look closely, there is a little butthole right there. That is a vagina. And I opened the page and was like, no fucking way. This guy can do no wrong. People buy his books and they fucking love him. And I'm one of those people. Buy it now. Chapter 19 of Saga. It's nice to see the family kind of butting heads while not running from everybody for their lives. They're just trying to live, and it's not working out so well. But the part that made me want to say, fuck you, Brian K. Vaughan, is that I thought this was a story of, like, true love and romance and family and friendship and everything I love about comic books. And the last page, the daughter narrates, this is the story of how my parents split up. And I almost cried because everything I loved about this book is kind of being taken away from me. And I know it's just like it's an arc and I have to just go with it, but I was a little sad to see that. I'm getting teary just thinking about it. Shut up. Buy it now. Let's wrap up this week with last week's Walking Dead issue. I missed doing a Pryde's Picks last week, and I cannot let this piece of shit slip under the radar without saying something. Issue 127, A New Beginning. Now, those of you that watch the Walking Dead series, you guys have a beef. And the beef you have, I think more than anything else, and I have it too, is the part where Rick kind of just fucked off for a while and became a farmer, and like you jump in at the beginning of a new season and it's like a year down the line or 2 years down the line and Rick's farming and everybody's doing their own thing and they're living a happy little life, and fans fucking hated that. Like, fucking hated that. I still hate that shit. So then Kirkman decides, you know what I should do? I should do that shit in my books because the fans hated it so much in the fucking TV series. So that's what he did. This is like in the future, and everybody's all working together to make a little community, and fucking Carl looks like some Manson wannabe motherfucker. He's got, like, teeth necklaces, shaggy long hair, he's all emo, he's besties with fucking Negan, he visits him every day in jail. Although he wants to kill him, he confides in him all the time. He's like, Negan, bro, want to hear about this girl that showed me her boobs today? Yeah, that really happened. Meanwhile, Rick is just kind of being the leader, and he's very neutral, and he's very laid back, and just whatever, brah. Fuck this book. It is like 2 books big. It's very large, and you're thinking you're getting a big bang for your buck, except inside is 2 books of bullshit. Piss on this book, shit on this book. We better get back to some good stuff. I don't know what I want, but this shit ain't it. I don't want to feel like I'm at the beginning of some fucking season 4 bullshit, watching the whole world have gone by while we weren't looking because it was summertime. Fuck this book. Fuck Kirkman. Fuck The Walking Dead. I've been saying it forever. I swear to God I'm about to write this book off. Like, I keep saying it and I keep picking it up, but it makes me so mad because they have nowhere to go right now, and it's obvious from what they're doing, because they're doing fucking nothing but farming, and Carl wants to learn how to make weapons because he's going to be a fucking psychopath someday. Alright. I am done with this week's Pryde's Picks because I am so full of rage and heartbroken and angry and agitated. I just want to wrap up this week by asking you guys from the bottom of my heart, please, we have just a handful of days left with Welcome to Tate's. Go to welcometotapes.com and donate $5, $10, what little bit you can spare. This series is going to be amazing. We are like halfway to our goal right now, and we just really need your help. I will love you forever, and honestly, I will review any book you want. I will be your little book reviewing puppet monkey over here if you just donate to Welcome to Tapes and send me a message. And good night, everybody. Mwah.